What's going on, guys? Today on Fast Food Face Off, we're doing super stuffed burgers in Springfield, New Jersey. Let's crush some calories.
Fast food face off! Fast food face off!
Today, it's all about business, and business is burgers. So we have their stuffed burgers. This is their burger of the month, which is called the Duffman. We have their breakfast burger, which I believe is called the Flash. We have their super stuffed original hot dog. And then we also have the Fantastic Four burger, which is like a mac and cheese stuffed burger. The sidekick platter, which is pretty much a bunch of different appetizers, mac and cheese, mozzarella sticks, onion rings, tater tots, seasoned fries. I got their shake of the month, which is a salted caramel pretzel shake, if I'm not mistaken. And then I saw that they had cookies on the menu, so there was no way I wasn't gonna get those. Everything looks amazing. I can't wait to get into it. So I'm gonna get started with the carbohydrates first because there's a lot of them. Let's go with the onion rings. Super solid onion ring, good onion flavor, really nice crisp. It kind of reminds me of the onion rings from White Castle in a really good way because honestly, those are some of my favorite onion rings. I asked for their super stuffed sauce on the side. It's really good. There's like relish in there. It complements the onion rings really well.
Tasty Vibe Tribe, get ready to assemble for an epic supersized showdown.
You know, an onion ring is cooked well when it actually stays with the coating that it has as opposed to pulling apart from it. Next, I'm gonna move on to their mozzarella sticks. When you have something that's fried like this, as I'm going through this, you can always tell when somebody actually changes the oil in their fryer. The temperature that these foods are being fried in is done at the right temperature because it's golden brown. It doesn't kind of slip away from what is inside of it. And this is actually pretty well filled and it's not greasy to the touch.
Speaking from somebody who's changed out a couple of grease traps in his day, it makes a world of difference when you have food being cooked at the right temperature and fresh fry oil.
Next up, I'm gonna tackle these seasoned fries. Just from the look of it, they're very well seasoned, so I imagine these are gonna taste awesome. Really nice seasoned fry. The texture is good. It's tender on the inside, crispy on the outside. Again, it's because the fryers here are probably pretty fresh, pretty clean. When it comes to things like French fries, salt factor is always 2 tastes. These are fine for me. Your guys' mileage may vary, but I like these.
So I'm not 100% sure what was on the fries, but I do think that it was some sort of paprika base because there was a little bit of a smoky flavor to it.
I'm team crispy bits when it comes to French fries. There's some people that don't like the little kind of sort of extra crispy ones that are left over, but it's like my favorite part.
Let me know down below in the comments section if you guys are team crispy bits.
Last for the appetizer platter is their tater tots. I left them for last because they look crispy and delicious, and honestly, as long as you make a tater tot crispy, it's gonna be good. No surprise, it's as good as everything else. Really tender on the inside, super crispy outside, well seasoned, really good tater tots.
As an homage to the owner Rob's South American heritage, there's 2 additional side items, which include salchi papas and yuca fries, which Mrs. Fast Food Face Off tried and said that it was some of the best yuca fries she's ever tasted.
I'm gonna try the Duffman, because that one's kind of calling my name. Also, we're in Springfield, Duffman. I almost feel like I have to, right?
Duffman is here to refill your beer.
Let's see how it stacks up. Super tasty. I'm always a big fan of pretzel buns, especially when they're complemented with something like mustard and like a Muenster style cheese and pickles. It's a natural combination. The burgers themselves are very good. There's a nice char on them. It's cooked through, and you can tell that they're not frozen, that they're actually made here, which always makes a burger better.
Super Stuffed Burgers not only prides themselves on their comic themed decor, but their fresh ingredients and their made-to-order menu.
There's also bacon and onion rings on this, which is nice. It adds a much needed texture. Crispness from the onion rings, and then you get the fattiness of the bacon. It very much rounds out the burger. I make it look easier, but it's actually.
Whoa, don't get too confident, Josh. Guy eats in front of 3 people, and he thinks he's a regular Joey Chestnut.
What's special about super stuffed burgers is that not only is it topped well, but they're Juicy Lucy style burgers in that they're filled with cheese, and then they're also topped with all the rest of the special ingredients. Next up, I'm gonna try the original super stuffed hot dog. A split dog that has cheese and then their special sauce on top. See how it tastes. I appreciate that they toast the bun. It adds a nice texture. And then the way that the sauce plays with the unctuousness and fattiness of a hot dog, it's a little sweet, it's a little salty. I enjoy it. It's a good standard hot dog with a little something extra.
A hot dog with a good snap on a toasted bun. Need I say more?
Next up, I'm gonna have the macaroni and cheese, mainly because I just don't wanna do mac and cheese on the burger and then this, so I'm gonna do the mac and cheese and I'll make my way over to the breakfast burger. That's solid mac and cheese. One of the co-owners, Rob, told me that they make this in store and you can tell that it's not something from a box. I think that sometimes you dance a fine line with mac and cheese on whether or not you want to have it baked, if it's al dente, if you have a little bit of toothiness to it, but this is a nice happy medium. It's a really good mac and cheese.
This macaroni and cheese is more velvety and creamy than, say, something like a baked macaroni and cheese that gets that crispy skin on top of it.
Next up, I'm gonna try their Flash Burger, which is essentially a breakfast burger. I believe it has bacon, their special sauce on it, egg, cheese. I mean, you can't really go wrong with breakfast and a burger together. Let's see how it stacks up. That first bite, you get that really nice fried egg, and it pairs really well with the special sauce that they have on there. It's pretty much breakfast on a burger. Actually, I know exactly what it reminds me of too. The breakfast Baconator that Wendy's has, this reminds me of a much better version of that. And if you guys are longtime viewers on the channel, you remember how much I like that. And this is better. You know when an egg is fried well, and you get that kind of crispy skirt around it, but the inside is still really nice and creamy? That's a good fried egg.
If you guys haven't already, make sure to head over to our Instagram so you can get an exclusive sneak peek at the inside of Super Stuffed Burgers, whose walls are lined with a personal comic collection of owner Rob.
So last up for the burgers is their mac and cheese burger, which I believe is the Fantastic Four. You have that really good mac and cheese from earlier, really well cooked, really well seasoned bun, or burger rather. And then just to round things off, they put some more cheese in it and then bacon on top as well. You can't really say anything bad about bacon, cheese, and macaroni and cheese on a burger, so I won't. I think what might have been nice on this was some of their onion rings, just to add a little bit more texture.
Because the burgers at Super Stuffed Burgers are made to order, you can customize them however you like.
Of course, last but not least, dessert. So they have cookies here for dessert that Rob, one of the owners, told me his girlfriend or fiance, I'm sure that that's gonna get me in trouble because I don't remember which, makes these, and then they freeze them and then cook them to order. So one, that's awesome that they're cooked to order like that, so you know you're getting something that's a fresh cookie. And two, they were actually inspired by the Levain style chocolate chip cookies in New York because they were originally from New York and it was one of their favorite cookies. So I always love when there's a backstory to something like this. Enough talking about it, let's see how these taste. These are definitely in the vein, pun intended, of Levain Bakery. You get that crisp exterior, and then you get that almost on the verge of slightly underdone, but intentionally underdone on the inside. And then that gooey chocolate chip. It's like a chocolate chip cookie version of like a lava cake in the best possible way. You get the textures that you want from a normal chocolate chip cookie, crisp on the outside, and then soft in the middle. But there's so much here as far as texture and flavor that it's more than just a normal chocolate chip cookie. Every month they come up with a burger of the month and a shake of the month. The burger of the month was the Duffman burger, and the shake of the month is their salted caramel pretzel shake. So I'm just gonna have these two together. I'll let you guys know what I think about it as I go through it. That's been sitting for a little bit, but that's still a really delicious shake. I like when you get a place that actually blends the shakes with real bits of stuff so that you get little small bits of, you know, the pretzel and the caramel and all of that still with inside of your milkshake, as opposed to just getting the flavor of it.
I'm sure if you ask nicely, you can probably get those delicious cookies blended up in a milkshake too.
Everybody likes their chocolate chip cookies or their cookies in general cooked a certain way. Some people like them cakey, some people like them chewy, some people like them crisp. I think that this is a nice middle ground for a lot of that because, like I had said earlier, there's a lot of different textures there. And I always like when places use chunks of chocolate as opposed to just chips or a mixture of the two, because I think sometimes chocolate chips just get lost in the overall kind of brown sugar vibe that you get from normal baked chocolate chip cookies. But when you have a chunk of chocolate, it kind of stands up a little bit more. Plus, I think it complements a cookie of this size a lot better.
I may not be able to devour worlds like Galactus, but I was able to devour this superhero-sized meal from Super Stuffed Burgers. Thanks again for watching, and make sure to stick around for the final review.
Final review time, right? So you would think that a place that has comic books and stuff like that on the walls would just be some sort of a novelty as far as maybe like a nostalgia kind of money grab, and you would be wrong, because the food here lives up to the hype. It is absolutely delicious. I did not have one bad thing that was on this table. I will say that I think my favorite was the breakfast burger. The egg was cooked perfectly, the way that the bacon and the cheese paired with the actual burger itself, how well seasoned that burger is. The burger itself, you can just have it plain and it would still be a great burger. I think out of the appetizers, my favorite was probably the tater tots. I'm a tater tots guy. Those are good tater tots. You're never gonna go wrong with just crispy, salty, crispy deliciousness. Everything else was really good, but I think that the tater tots were my favorite. As far as the dessert, also really, really good. I thought that it was going to be just a kind of normal chocolate chip cookie, and it was anything but. It was very much in the style of a rustic kind of chocolate chip, old school bakery style chocolate chip cookie. The milkshake was great. It complemented the cookies really well. It's a revolving menu as far as their specials, which I love. I love when a place gets a little bit more fun and creative with their menu, especially when they do what they do so well. It allows them to just kind of color outside the lines a little bit. That about wraps it up for us here at Fast Food Face Off. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, if you are what you eat, always eat amazing.